Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. Thank you guys for returning. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. All that good stuff. I really do appreciate it. Today I'm going to talk about a few videos that are in common that I think they're pretty cool, even though they're DVDs, and these things go back probably to about 2006. So they're roughly 15, 16 years old. But it kind of shows a time when DVD was king, and all the companies really put a lot into their DVD releases as far as packaging and just little extras and supplements and the artwork, and they poured everything in it. And now a couple years later, Bluray would hit the shelves, and that would be stuff would start kind of shifting a little bit. But this kind of shows a time when DVD was king. It was the top stuff, and I want to show a few examples from 20th Century Fox. They did a whole series during this time of different things that were really cool. I kind of spotlighted a little bit of 20th Century Fox, their film noir series that they did around this time. Actually, they did a whole series of film noir, which was really interesting, very collectible, even to this day. I mean, each one's numbered. I mean, to me, it's still something really you could collect. As a collector, I think it's really cool. But as far as their more prestigious films from the 50s and 60s and on up and stuff, they did one called Cinema Classics Collection, 20th Century Fox. They had it's a special logo. They had the font above the thing, and each one came with a slipcase, and inside various ones would come with picture postcards, posters, just little things, and some of them would be really loaded with extras, and some of them were just moderately loaded with, extras. But the real draw to these, and what makes them very collectible, in my opinion, is just the artwork, the slip cases, the films and stuff. Now some of these have been re-released later on Blu-ray by different companies. Better editions have come along and stuff, but I just think at a time when I first discovered these, I just thought they were really cool. So I've kind of been going back and looking around and trying to find some that interest me. I don't want to collect the whole series by any means, but just some of the movies that interest me that are like that. So enough said. So one of the first ones I kind of picked up, this is Cinema Classics Collection. This is a movie starring Tyrone Power Jr., I guess would be. He was at the top of his power at 20th Century Fox. He was a major star. He was one of 20th Century Fox's biggest male actors. This movie came out in 1941. It's directed by Ruben Mamoulian. It was a big color production and everything. It was really cool. The movie is Blood and Sand, which is sort of a remake of the Rudolph Valentino silent movie, which is all based on a novel by Ibanez. But just to kind of show these off a little bit, you got the slipcase, and then you got, and everything. And it's just a DVD. Now, a lot of these you may find out there in the wild and stuff, but they'll be missing the slipcase. And I think the slipcase really makes it collectible. I mean, I'm not somebody nowadays that the slipcover is everything on stuff, but like if I get an Arrow or Eureka, one of the big boutique Blu-ray labels, and they come out with a limited slipcase, J card, O card, whatever it's called, then yeah, I'll get that. Even Kino has come out with some special ones for their 4K editions and stuff. But otherwise, the slipcase doesn't matter to me. But in this instance, it does, because I think it really makes it brings it up a notch and stuff. So But yeah, Blood and Sand, good movie, lush, 125-minute movie based on bullfighting. Really good, well directed, beautiful looking Technicolor. It's got Rita Hayworth, a young Rita Hayworth, one of her earliest roles where she's a star now. But yeah, Blood and Sand, I thought that was cool. Next up, this is an edition of a movie starring Steve McQueen. It's directed by Robert Wise. This is the Sand Pebbles. Really cool edition. I found this on eBay. It's in really good condition because a lot of times over the years, Tom has not been fair to these slipcases. They really get messed up. But The Sand Pebbles is a really cool movie in Steve McQueen's oeuvre of movies he's made. But yeah, there you go. You got different artwork on the front. And then you got the slipcase. Now, this one is really loaded with stuff. It's got a lot of stuff. It's 2 discs. Disc 2's got the making of. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's got stuff from the Fox Vault. Something called Sidebars, which has some documentaries on Steve McQueen. Disc 1 even, I'm trying to read this, has the theatrical version, and it also has the roadshow version of this film. Like I said, it was directed by Robert Wise. This was a very prestigious production for 20th Century Fox when this came out. It also stars Richard Attenborough, Richard Crenna, Candice Bergen, one of her earliest roles, and really cool. This came out, I think, 1961, maybe, no, 66, I believe. But anyway, yeah, 66. This was a big production. So it's got the 2 different versions of the film. I have this on Laserdisc and everything, but these were just 2... You know, this isn't one of Steve McQueen's best movies, but it's definitely a really good movie of his. Really cool, grand scale, epic, you know, kind of a small epic. But yeah, The Sand Pebbles, really cool. I really like that case. Next up, here's a movie that Roger Kirby actually was talking about the Blu-ray of this that's on Kino, Twilight Time, one of those other labels. I can't remember it, but I kind of did some research on the movie and stuff, and I came across the 20th Century Fox Cinema Classics Collection version of it, and I was like, wow. So this kind of spurred, you know, got my mind going, oh, maybe I can find a couple of them. Now, I already had like 3 or 4 of them, but this was one that I looked for. It's the Quiller Memorandum, starring George Segal, and it's also got Alec Guinness, Max von Sydow, and Cinta Berger. I'm messing her name up, but yeah, it's based on a story by was it Ivan Fox? No, wait a minute. Who's this by? Well, the screenplays by Howard Pinter. I'm trying to think, is this based on a book or something? I can't remember, but it's really cool. It's kind of George Segal. He's a kind of a spy. He's kind of a top agent spy, like almost like a James Bond type. When he's working for the British government, and they're trying to infiltrate some Nazis that are trying to come to power and stuff. So he kind of goes in deep and gets to know these people. He falls in love with this woman. There's some real twists in this movie which make it really interesting. But George Segal's charisma, his charm, really carry this movie, and it's really, really well made. Directed by Michael Anderson, and the supporting cast is really good. I mean, got some heavyweights with Max von Sydow and Alec Guinness, so it makes it really good. But yeah, the Quiller Memorandum, which, you know, you got the slipcase, basically the same art. Really, really interesting. So got that. Next up, this is one I've had ever since it came out. I remember this was out in like 2007, 2008. I remember coming across it at a Walmart of all places. This is Fantastic Voyage. This is really cool. Kind of a really interesting science fiction movies from the mid-60s with the special effects of a crew of people get miniaturized into like a little ship, and they go into the body to extract, I believe, a poison or something like that. But pretty cool. It's got a great cast. It's got Donald Pleasance, Raquel Welch, Stephen Boyd. Really cool. The director, who was the director? Oh, Richard Fleischer, which is somebody I've been kind of getting into. Richard Fleischer has done all kinds of really good movies. Everything from westerns to spy movies to big budget epics and all kinds of stuff in between. So, but yeah, pretty much the same artwork on the cover. But this has a lot of sentimental to me because I bought this. This was, I've just had this for a long time. I've kind of tried to keep it looking good and everything. But yeah, 1966, really cool. Fantastic Voyage. And finally, guys, this is, again, another one around the same time I got Fantastic Voyage. This is the first time that I saw this movie. I have a real thing for this movie. It is definitely a campy, cult classic movie done by a director known to do his famous TNA movies of the Super Vixens and Faster Pussycat Kill. Russ Meyer. This is a movie, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. I have this edition. I have the Blu-ray from Criterion that came out. I also have the Arrow Blu-ray release of it that shows, it's very rare because it has a second movie on the disc, the 7 Minutes, which is Russ Meyer's second big budget studio film that he made. He only made like 2 in the for 20th Century Fox, and it's on there, and it's very rare, which was one of the reasons why I rebought it and had that. And I even have it on Laserdisc, guys. So yeah, I'm not obsessed with this movie. I just think it's really cool. It's just so odd, and I don't know, I've just drawn to this movie. It's so weird. But yeah, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, directed by Russ Meyer. What's weird about this is that the screenplay is by Roger Ebert, one of his one and only screenplays. But yeah, it's pretty controversial. What's cool about it is it's in this like blue case, which is kind of cool because at the time this was really cool at the time, because even Criterion wasn't doing anything this really interesting. It's 2 discs. It comes with a booklet, pretty thick booklet actually. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's definitely a cult classic. I believe this came out in 1970. Is it 70? Yeah, 1970. I wanted to say 69. But yeah, 1970. It really doesn't have anything to do with the 1967 version, the movie called The Valley of the Dolls, which is based on a book and had Sharon Tate and Patty Duke and people like that in it. I don't know why they use Valley of the Dolls, but really they don't have a lot in common. Very little, but only a name only. But yeah, there you go. Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. I thought that was pretty cool. Another one of those Cinema Classics collection. I thought that was cool. I just thought I would spotlight a few of those that are in my collection. I believe I may have a couple other ones floating around here. I need to look, but I just thought I would show a few anyways. But yeah, I'm gonna keep my eyes out for some interesting ones. All those are interesting movies that I would watch. I'm not going after every single one that they put out because, you know, a lot of them are, some of them I'm really not interested in watching. So I'm not going to just buy it just to collect it, you know. I guess I could, but I think those are cool. But there you go, guys. I hope you like this episode. I just thought I would show something a little different, kind of keep your eyes out. Collectors out here, collectors that watch this, that kind of want to find something different, something really cool to look for. I think those are pretty interesting. Keep your eye out for them. So there you go. I hope you liked this episode. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Comment, what do you think about these? I mean, do you have any yourself? One question I like to ask you guys is, do you agree with me that DVD was at its height at that around 2006-7 as far as packaging and stuff? Because I don't think Blu-ray ever replicated the heyday of DVD in their packaging. I think only in cases of very special editions and stuff, but a lot of those are just standard releases and stuff, and they went all out and stuff, you know. So anyways, let me know what you think about that. Check out my channel, check out some of the past episodes I got. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you have subscribed, hit that bell so you're notified when I release new videos. So until next time, guys, I'm Mike. Keep watching cool movies. Be safe out there, and I'll see you later.